This poem is called Shrimp Deflection. You are to blame for my shellfish nature. You are to blame for my sugar snap knuckles, blackening like sunset with osmotic intentions, parrying parlance, a shrimp deflection. Hello everyone, it's James here. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be reacting to the woman whose blood sugar is higher than the number of notches on Russell Brand's bedpost. We're going to be reacting to Foodie Beauty. And we're back to school, back to school. Why I no longer want to make videos and what's fair use? What is it? So yeah, settle yourself in. We're getting another Foodie TED Talk, and I'm sure we can all appreciate sitting at the learning tree that is Foodie Beauty. Yeah, this is quite incredulous. She did another video, which was a shrimp mukbang. Nothing of consequence happened, so you don't need to worry about that. I'm kind of thankful for Foodie doing these kind of videos because that means I don't have to react to her schlopping a shrimp. That's right, schlopping a shrimp. So yeah, thank you, Foodie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I'm sure you appreciate me with that one dislike I get on every video. Thank you so much. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, so I want to talk about something that is affecting me and my channel. I haven't really realized it fully until recently, but if after
So when it comes to fair use, I would say that I fall here. The new work is critique, satire, or education. I definitely fall into that category. Whether she likes it or not, the reaction channels are here to stay. And, I'm not going to comment negatively on other people's work. There are some reaction channels that literally just post her video. It's going to be an occurrence with anything on YouTube, really. If somebody does something, there's probably another channel who's just posted the exact same video. It's inescapable, unfortunately. Um, but I would say 99% of Foodie Beauty reaction channels are indeed transformative and informative. Like, for example, I watched Shantopolis's new video, and the editing was marvelous. The intro was fantastic, and I would say that is innovative and transformative. So, that's just one example. And there are obviously a lot of reaction channels like myself who managed to make, chocolate mousse out of poop. Like in the video of her talking about schooling us haters, that video was only 20 minutes long and I made it into an hour long critique. So it's it's not it's you know I'm trying to find the word here. It's not lazy, basically. We are transforming her content into something more credible, into something more digestible. Because, reactors, like, people come to us for a reason. They don't want to watch her original content because it's so bloody boring. So they come to us for information and entertainment. So, I think she's off on the wrong sugar foot here.
I explain it, it doesn't make sense to you, or you don't agree that what is happening is not fair whatsoever, I don't know what else to tell you or how to explain it another way. I'm talking about reaction channels gone too far. Now, I have complained about reaction channels many, many times.
Oh yeah, she does it all the time, but she doesn't do it through the proper channels. The only channel she does it through is her own, where she's like, I hate everyone. Me. I don't like this. Me. I don't like that. Me. And then everybody points and laughs at her. And we're just like, just do it through the proper, appropriate channels. I'm sure that YouTube would probably uphold some complaints that she makes. But I think she's just too lazy.
especially the ones that are just pure hate channels, mostly about hypocrisy and bullying. But now there is another big issue I would like to address. It's content theft, whichever
Who would thieve your content verbatim?
way you try to excuse it, there is a whole community of content leeches that literally steal my content. And honestly, this is why I no longer want to put any effort into my content. If I do mukbangs, not much effort is there, sure. But if
So you don't put effort into 99% of your content because that's all you do. You literally eat. You eat for a living, Foodie. So what you're telling us is you just don't put any effort into any of your videos whatsoever. Got it.
I bother to go out and vlog and try and get creative with my videos, thousands of views are stolen from reaction channels.
Now, I do find travel vlogs very interesting because I've only been to a couple of places in Europe in my life, and a lot of that was due to being like poor as a child and being fat as an adult. Um, so I haven't had much opportunity to go out and travel. So it's nice to watch travel vlogs and to see parts of the world that I may never experience. So when Foodie's done her outside world vlogging, some of it is actually very interesting. Um, I'm not gonna just because I don't find her likable doesn't detract from the fact that she lives in a place that does seem quite interesting to me because the architecture of Kuwait seems interesting. The natural terrain of Kuwait seems interesting. So I'm not gonna detract from her purely for that. It's the fact that almost every single video is just her stuffing her gob. It's literally just her going, mew, 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 mew. Well, actually, it's more like this. So it's yeah. She is pretty lazy with their content, let's face it.
And this is no exaggeration, about at least a dozen channels take my entire video for their own content and restream it or stream snipe it the minute I go live.
I do think that is unfair. Um, I mean, if they're sat in silence and literally just restreaming her lives, yes, then I would say that that is legitimate content theft. But if it's somebody who is doing commentary while the live is going on, then I would say that is fair use. So you're gonna have to tell us which of these channels are just content theft, Foodie, because I like I say, pretty much 99% of reaction channels to Foodie do a pretty good job of having fair use. So, you're gonna have to tell us who this 1% is.
They'd steal the video in its entirety or make a video using the entire video and make small comments here and there about petty little things,
Now, who'd make small comments here and there?
mostly bullying and body
I don't think I'd make small comments here and there.
shaming, such as how
If I were to make small comments here and there, I think you'd all know about it, really, wouldn't you?
I walk, how
And I mean, what constitutes a small comment?
fat I look.
Is it just like interjecting with every few seconds, or is it actually something more substantial?
There's literally a reaction channel whose content is to slow down shots of me walking to laugh at me.
Now, I have done one video of that, yes, but it's because she reminded me of Hyacinth Bouquet from Keeping Up Appearances. So I think I had a legitimate reason to make that video. Thank you so much.
So things like that, if I'm using filters, etc., etc. I could go live and I will have, let's say, maybe
She just admitted she uses filters. She kind of went a bit blasé on it, but she admits she uses filters. And if you're happy with your appearance, then you don't really need to use filters. I mean, I don't use filters because I am devastatingly handsome. I couldn't keep a straight face while saying that. But, I do see filters as being a bit pointless, especially if you're trying to tell people that you're a. So if you're not bothering telling people that you're a certain way, yeah, you can filter all the way. Like I know some content creators, they're like, oh, I'm £250, and with the filters on, they still look like they're 312. So yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is shut up, Foodie.
500 views. If someone, a bigger reaction channel who usually gets more views will go live, my views will drop down to the 300s. This is
That's common. Like if I were to go live on Twitch, right, and I normally get 15 to 20 viewers, and I don't know, if Otsdava went live and he normally gets 5,000 viewers, you can pretty much guarantee that my viewership would go down a little bit because a bigger content creator went live. So that is just a normal thing. You can't really escape that, unfortunately. Especially if you're doing similar content. So if Foodie was, just sat there, which that's all she does in her live streams is just sit there, and then somebody else goes live with like a rip-roaring rendition of O Sole Mio. O Sole Mio. If I were to do that live, I'd probably get more viewers than Foodie. So, it's just the law of the land, unfortunately.
is not fair use. This is what fair use should be. Read it very well, using small amounts of the content and not taking away from the original creator. React
Read what very well? That's not in either of these pictures. Or am I? Am I? Let's hear that again.
not taking away from the original creator. Reactors themselves have been reported gleefully bragging about how they purposely take away views and not to watch my content on my channel and to watch it on theirs. This
I mean, I don't brag about taking away from her because I feel like the content that I produce fills a niche that informs people about the dangers of Foodie Beauty's content. Because I do feel that what she does is dangerous, and a woman with a sphere of influence of over 100,000 people will there is a chance that there's somebody vulnerable in that 100,000. And my purpose for this channel is to make sure that there is counter information out there to tell people why Foodie is such a dangerous content creator. Because she tells us about all these ailments that she has. She tells us about her diabetes, which is not very well controlled. She tells us about her kidney issues, her urinary tract infections. She's got no gallbladder. She stated that she has binge eating disorder in one of her videos, which is why it got taken down and put back up with a hotline for an eating disorder charity. So she is dangerous, and there are people like me out there who want to try and curb that. You know, I get a decent amount of views every day, so I like to think that maybe there is somebody that will take my information to heart and be like, right, what this woman is doing is not good, so I shouldn't do what she does. And there are many of you in my comments that tell me your absolutely amazing stories of how you've overcome your adversities. And honestly, like it's making me emotional just uh, talking about it now. But like the people that put those stories in my comments, I am so bloody grateful for you because we all have our trials and tribulations through life, and if you tell your story, there is a chance that somebody will listen, and if we share them, then we might set somebody on the right path. And yeah, I just think that's a wonderful thing. So I'm thankful for all your comments and all your replies. And yeah, I'm I know I get terribly emotional all the time, but that's just me. So I can't really help that.
This is theft. This is wrong, and it's come to a point where it's no longer worth it for me to put any effort into making content.
So why are we to blame? Why are we to blame for you not putting in any effort? If anything, this should like spur you on to put effort into your videos, to go out every day and actually get things done and get a new audience that has no idea that these reaction channels exist. Like, instead of having a KFC, which you can get anywhere in the world, why not do a video of you going to a Kuwaiti restaurant and sampling Kuwaiti food? Healthy Kuwaiti food at that. Like, I'm sure there are tons of wonderful Middle Eastern recipes that are good for you, with like tons of herbs and spices and wonderful vegetables that are so fresh and tasty. Yeah, why don't you do that? Because that would be legitimately interesting, and you could discover that you would have a new audience wanting to like take this gastronomic journey with you, but instead you're just like, no, I'll just have a subware sub stop. Thanks. Whatever.
Just for reaction channels. People argue that they wouldn't watch me anyway. Well, that's not true because you go to another channel to watch my content.
People go to another channel because they like the reactor and they like the humor or the information or the transformative nature of their content. They like that person because Foodie herself is so unlikable that they don't want to give her their ad revenue. They'd rather take their money somewhere else. They're essentially voting with their wallet. Even though obviously, it's just exposing yourself to advertisements. So yeah, that's not really an argument either. I think if all the reaction channels were gone and it was just Foodie slurping down some shrimp, I think she'd still have the same amount of views. Actually, no, I think she'd have less views because us reactors have to go over to her channel to watch the content first to see what's going on. So I think actually she would be at a net loss without the reaction channels. So that's some food for thought, Foodie. Unfortunately, you can't eat food for thought, so probably not going to be worth anything to you, but hey.
Throwing petty remarks and insults every few minutes is not transformative in any way.
Darling, I'm not petty. When I say something, I mean it.
You are certainly not making my content any different. There's no transformation happening to my work. Furthermore,
I mean, that's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? Maybe that's why you don't want to make copyright claims, is because you can't work out the border between stealing and transformation. I well fall under the transformation side because I'm basically giving my thoughts and feelings about everything because, I'm wonderful like that. Yeah, I think Foodie's just big angry that she got her video taken down and demonetized because she was talking about eating disorders. And unfortunately, if you're trying to justify why you eat massive amounts of food while having an eating disorder, you're a bit of a dunce. Let's face it.
how is it okay for a reactor to have an entire channel based on one individual only? And I'm sure reactors will say, I'm crying over people taking my content. Yeah, I am. Just like the YouTube
That's fair.
Underground went on a rampage hypocritically when people used a tiny amount of her content and abused the copyright system over and over and over.
I don't
Now,
know
I
anything
can't
about that.
copyright strike because I simply cannot afford to take every one of these reactors to court and pursue any of this, nor do I wish to spend my time
Okay, if you don't wish to, then why are you crying about it?
fighting something that big. But no matter how you spin it,
If if you were that concerned about your bottom line, about the money that we're taking from you, then I'm sure you'd actually go for every reaction channel, wouldn't you? You'd go through the big ones, you'd go through the small ones, and actually do something about it. So are you really that concerned, or you just can't be asked? I think you just can't be asked.
it's not fair use to use a creator's entire work when it takes views away from the original creator. Period. And yes, I can prove that. And I just have talked about that. What happens when somebody goes live the minute I go live?
But what if they go live the minute you go live with something different and more interesting, which is what usually happens? Of course, people are going to go elsewhere because they want to see something fresh and interesting. Because we've seen Foodie eat massive amounts of food for what, 7 years now, with the occasional sprinkling of drama and the occasional sprinkling of a health issue. So, we've been there, done that, and we react to it. And people go to the reactors because they don't want to give her any money. Simple as that, really. And she could easily make her videos members only, but then, only 10 people would watch.
And therefore, honestly, I don't feel motivated at all to share my life, nor to put in any effort into any content I do.
She's very good at deflecting the blame, isn't she? It's like, well, it's not my fault I don't want to make anything decent for you guys. It's everybody else's fault. No, no, no. It's not because I'm a lazy bitch. It's because everybody else is a bitch. How dare you?
That's just how it is. I will just sit and eat and do mukbangs and do gaming streams on YouTube and try to do some streams on TikTok here and there, mostly battles and content where I can play some music. If these channels were not using 100% of my content, a lot of people would watch on my channel.
No, no, they wouldn't. I think you're in a bit of a dream world there, young lady. Um, you would not magically get thousands upon thousands of more views if all the reaction channels disappeared. Like I say, I think you'd get less. I legitimately think you would get less views. Like, this video is currently sat at 4,583 as of recording, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, we've got a video from Garlic Bread here in my recommended that's on 6.5K views, and it's been out for less time. So I legitimately think her viewership would go down if all the reaction channels disappeared. That's the hill I am on.
They would be curious, at least, and not all, but many more would be forced to, because no matter what you admit to it or not, whether you admit to it or not, sorry, those who watch on reaction channels are still interested to some degree to watch my content, which
They're not interested in the content that you produce. They're interested in the. It's like watching. It's like a train wreck essentially, and it's one of those things that you just can't help but look at. But you know, it's good to have some levity alongside it. It's good to have some information alongside it. So yeah, I just don't think that people would go to her because let's face it, she's quite boring. She's quite uh she's quite annoying in and condescending is another one of those adjectives I'd place on her. Who's like, let me take you to school. Yeah? Actually gonna help you to learn things because I don't think you actually know what you're doing, right? All these reaction channels with their informative information and their humor and watching me walk slowly, I think it's detracting from my viewership, okay? So, you know.
which is why those channels exist at all in the first place. It's sad that it has come to this, but reaction channels have gone too far with their lazy stealing content. And I am no longer going to do any vlogs or content outside of the mukbangs and gaming streams. I will
Yeah, so her core audience that's left's like, oh, well, all right then. I guess I'll go flip myself, I guess. Like the 10 people that are left are like, oh, right. Well, here's some memberships. Yay. Oh, okay.
talk to you guys on the gaming streams, but not the talking I do on my regular streams. If you were working for free, I'm sure you wouldn't feel like it much either. I put myself out there, I put in the editing effort, and for someone to just not even cam up and show themselves and just take my entire content and then use it to bully me, no thanks. And make more money, no thanks. It's ridiculous that you
Hello. I'm on camera. I'm a model and I'm looking good. Bow bow. Bow 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 bow. Yeah, so about that camming up thing, I think she needs to watch some content creators that actually do cam up because there are quite a few of us. Um, you know, I'm here. Hi. You know, it's not an uncommon thing for us lot to be cammed up. So, you know, whenever she says cam up, I'm just like beard, eyes. That's all I need to do a reaction video, beard and eyes. That's it. Well, actually mouth because I need to talk.
YouTube allows this to occur, but to be honest, I know I talk a big game about reporting them to YouTube, but lately I just haven't had the mental health to sit and go through their channels and send timestamps and watch their content for hours and hours of abuse. I actually have done this once or twice in the past, but not lately. I feel like YouTube 100% doesn't give a shit. So why
I think, yeah, she is big mad that that video got taken down about schooling the haters. It's back up now with an eating disorder hotline, like I say. But I think she's legitimately angry because she got taken down and the reaction channels didn't. That's because the reaction channels actually have important information to say rather than having receipts, which are basically just your menu It was literally the KFC menu that you showed us. I've got receipts, look. No, they weren't receipts. They were just items. So, you know, she can't even school us properly. Why am I even paying for this schooling? It's a rip-off.
Why should I? I would love to make nice vlogs for you guys. I would love to, but not.
I would love to make nice vlogs for you guys, but I can't be bothered because I'm lazy. And if I could do a 12-hour video of me laying like a seal, I would.
Not if I put in the effort to do the content, and some lazy reaction channels who don't even bother to get on camera just replay my entire content. Sorry, but fuck no. Fuck no. No more.
She's swearing. I don't think that's appropriate for a dainty lady like herself. And anyway, there is a camera. Here is my face. Strike a pose. Anyway.
I've fed these losers and their kids for way too long, and I am done.
I don't have any kids.
Anyways, guys, that is what you can expect from now on. See you.
Shamelessly making my video 8 minutes for more ads. So she's got it to about 6 minutes and 44 seconds here. And the other 2 minutes are just to make ads. So, yeah, basically, Foodie is really angry because everybody makes better content than her, and it's her own content. Which, yeah, it's pretty startling, isn't it? Maybe that says something about the quality of her content, that someone like me can just go flippily schmimble and exponentially improve her content by many thousands %. So, yeah, I think you need to get some work done, Foodie. You need to do some editing. You need to go outside. You need to do something about it. You silly cow. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.